What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Marrying Millions season. Listen, I say it's season 3, episode 3, but they say it's season 2, episode 13. Whatever floats your boat, okay? Rodney and Desiree. So let's start off with Rodney and Desiree. So Rodney says, "Listen, I'm trying to get Desiree to move to the East Coast, to DC, but she wants me to look into moving to the West Coast. So I had my friend Patrice. You know, Patrice was we met her at the party, to show me some houses. Now they looked at a house. It was beautiful. She said, "Listen, I know Rodney. I know Rodney's taste. He likes to live large. He likes people to know he got money, and he likes to sort of flaunt it. And so this is the perfect house for that." And it was a gorgeous house, and it was $6 million. And Rodney was like, "Patrice, you killing me, girl." And she was like, "Come on, Rodney, I know you can afford it." And Desiree is in the middle of watching them banter back and forth. And of course, now she immediately is like, "Well, wait a minute. First of all, why is Rodney sitting here bantering over a house that I know he can afford? Second of all, I don't know how I feel about the fact that him and Patrice, they so cool. I mean, she knows his, because she mentioned about, your mom can come out, your family coming out to visit. And she was like, wait a minute, I had to wait 2 years to meet his mama, and she know the mama and all of this good stuff. And then when they got to the bedroom, she was like, "Look, Rodney, look at the bed. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun in here." Excuse me, in here once we get married. And Patrice was like, "I don't know how she got Desiree. I don't know how Desiree got Rodney to wait." I'm like, "Because he didn't." I mean, she was celibate, but he wasn't. So, that's how that happened. Anyway, so then, here's one of my biggest pet peeves. Desiree, the longer we do this, the less sympathetic I am to your cause as far as you not being a gold digger. One of my biggest pet peeves, don't spend my money. Do not spend my money. You always quick to talk about what Rodney can and cannot afford. You don't know what Rodney can and cannot afford. It make me feel like you have Googled his net worth. You have snooped around in his paperwork and in his business when he ain't around to see it. Because first of all, just because I might be worth a certain amount of money on paper does not mean I'm about to spend that amount of money on paper, okay? So I don't know what Rodney's net worth is. You know why? Because I don't give a damn, okay? It don't benefit me one way or the other. But let's just say that Rodney's net worth is $50 million. That don't mean he ready to spend $6 million of it on a house in LA. Ain't nobody doing that. Don't spend my money. And that's about the third or fourth time that she always talking about what Rodney can afford. You don't know what Rodney can afford because you don't know what Rodney's budget is for nothing. And it ain't your money. Stop spending other people's money. I can't stand it. And I ain't even got no money. And I can't stand when people tell me what I can and can't afford to do. You don't know how far this $20 gotta last me, bruh. Anyway, so later on in the episode, she done got it stuck in her head that maybe Patrice is the one that Rodney cheated on her with. And that's the other thing. You being jealous of Patrice. Rodney already told you that he done known Patrice since they were in high school. Rodney got to be at least in his 40s, probably 50s, but I'm going to give him 40s. That means that he's known this woman for more than half of his life. Of course she knows his family. Of course she knows his mom. Of course they have memories and they have a relationship and they have a banter and they have an easiness of conversation between them. They've known each other for over 20 years. Like, girl, get over yourself. Calm down. So she asked Rodney, is Patrice the woman you cheated on me with? And Rodney was like, no. Like, Patrice is like family. He said, come on now. Like, okay, I'm a cheater, but damn, how trifling do you think I am that I would introduce you to the woman that I cheated on you with? Now, let's be clear. Men have done it before. Women have done it before. So it ain't like it can't happen. It ain't like it's out the realm of possibility. But I understand what you're saying, Rodney, for you to be like, girl, it ain't me. I ain't do it. So sorry. So then, she says, well, let's elope. I'm ready to get married now. Let's elope. And he was like, what you mean let's elope? What you talking about? He was like, listen, Just because I proposed to her don't mean I'm ready to get married. Like, I really only proposed to get her back and to shut her ass up. Ain't nobody really trying to get married. Ain't nobody really trying to get married. And I have a problem with people who do that. Like, and I say men because generally men are the ones who propose, but men do it all the time. They propose to shut the woman up, knowing they ain't ready to get married, thinking that it's just gonna shut them up. But Desiree is ready to get married like yesterday, today, tomorrow. Okay, so Rodney goes back home and he actually invites, he goes over his mom's house, his parents' house, and he tells his parents that he proposed to Desiree. Of course, they not here for it. You know, his mama wasn't feeling her. Come to find out, the daddy wasn't feeling her either, and they don't like the fact that he proposed. You know, they be like, "Well, you done flew out to L.A. You ain't even say nothing to nobody, and then you went and got engaged to the woman that I told you ain't a good idea." Then he told her about um he told his parents about the fact that she wants to elope, and they were like, okay, that's even more of a red flag. Like, why doesn't she want to wait and have a really nice ceremony where everybody's family can be there and all of that? Like, that's not making us feel any more comfortable with her intentions, because that makes us feel like, well, why is she in such a rush to get engaged? I mean, to get married. Like, what's all that about? And so then they were like, well, I mean, I know you at least gonna get a prenup. I don't know about getting no prenup because Desiree is gonna she probably gonna have a problem with that. And they were like, and he said, you know, I ain't even brought up the subject of a prenup because I already know it's gonna be a problem and it's gonna be an argument, and I don't even feel like having the headache. Now, y'all know how I feel about these prenups in this situation. I don't have no problem with the prenup, especially when the other person don't bring nothing into the marriage. I'm not saying that there isn't value in being married. That is not my point, and y'all know what I'm saying. But get a prenup with a, I've said it a million times, get a prenup with a sliding scale on it. I mean, go and get you a lawyer. Let your lawyer talk to his lawyer or her lawyer, and y'all work out all the details. Your lawyer is going to make sure they keep your best interest at heart. You know, granted, you may not be walking into the marriage with the same sort of leverage, but you're at least walking into the marriage with something protected. It is what it is. The man rich, you po. He should want to protect himself. Anyway, moving on. So that's Rodney and Desiree. Okay, Reese and Noni. Lord. They've been living together for a while. Things are going really well. Everything is good. You know, they're enjoying themselves, whatever. And come to find out, child, that Noni is convinced that she needs to talk to Reese mom again. She doesn't like the fact that there's a split between him and his mom. You know, he hasn't talked to his mom in a couple of weeks. And she, you know, and I understand, she feels responsible. She sort of feels like she's the reason why their relationship is sort of where it is. And he's telling her, listen, let it go. Just, it is what it is. Like, I made my decision. I know what I'm doing. I'm grown. I love you. And if they can't accept it, then it is what it is. So, don't. And she was like, well, I'm going to, you know, call your mom and invite her out to coffee. And, you know, let's just talk about how we can, you know, bring the families back together. I really hate that I feel like I'm coming between you and your family. And he was like, listen, I keep trying to tell you that this ain't going to work out the way you wanted to work out. Like, you learned the last time we had dinner and that didn't go so well. I told you it wasn't going to turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out or the way you wanted it to turn out. Like, I tried to tell you, I know my people. My mama's a bitch. It is what it is. He didn't say that. I said that, but whatever. And so, you know, she said, well, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, the last time we met up, I thought the worst that could happen, and that's what happened. So it can't get no worse than the fact that you and your mom are speaking to each other and she hates me. Like, what's she gonna do? Cuss me out again? Because she basically cussed you out the first time. I mean, she ain't cussed you out, but she was real nasty about the whole situation. So what's the worst that could happen? She cussed me out again? And I guess from that point of view, I guess you ain't really got nothing to lose, but girl. So, okay. So then she invites the mom out for coffee, and it's more the same. I mean, she tells the mom, listen, I really want us to try to come up with, you know, I hate the fact that I feel like I'm coming in between you and Reese. I really don't like that. What can we do to try to work through whatever issues you have with me so we can, get back on a good accord and we can be there for Reese. And Mama was just like, okay, she's, well, I mean, if you're really that concerned, then you could just not be with him anymore. And she was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna break up with Reese. But what can we do to try to work this out? Because I love Reese and I want to be with him. But how can we work this out, in another way? And she was like, okay, well, that's the only way we can work this out. I mean, if you really love him and you really want to be with him, then that's how we gonna work this out. And so that was kind of where that was, child. It was what it was. Noni, girl, just follow Reese's lead on this one. Just follow Reese's lead on this one, child. All right, Bree and Bill. Listen, I'm sick of Bree and Bill. I know y'all the OGs. Y'all been here since season 1, but at this point, I'm sick of y'all. Bill, I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I've been like, listen, when you date a man that's 40 years older than you, there's some things you just know you're gonna have to give up, especially when he got the money and you don't. You're gonna pay on the front end or on the back end, and it is what it is. So now, now the man that already told you he don't want to get married. The man that already told you that you got to get along with his ex-wives, all of them, and his parents. The man that already told you that basically you're his maid and his servant, and he doesn't really value you outside of what you could do for him within the household, including the bedroom. I don't know what else you want from him, Bree. So now you done got it in your head that you want to have children. You talked to your sister about it, and you were concerned about the fact that if you continue to wait, that you might end up resenting him. If you get to the point where you can no longer have children, not no longer have children, but it becomes harder to, the longer it goes on, and then you end up resenting him if you didn't do it when you were ready to do it or when you were young enough or whatever. So you go and have. So first she was like, "Well, I really don't want to have a conversation because me and him are in such a good place right now, but." I mean, I guess it's a conversation we need to have sooner rather than later. So she has a conversation with Bill about it, and this was it for me. Bree, if you stay with him after this, then you just gonna get you deserve to get what you get. He done already told you he ain't ready to marry you. So you ask him about kids, and he starts talking about you. Well, I think you're going to make a great mother. I think you should have children. I think you. So this is what it sounds like to me. Either A, he anticipates that your shelf life ain't going to last but a couple of more years and you'll still be young enough to have children because, hell, you ain't even going to be 30 yet. B, he anticipates that he going to die and you still gonna be young enough to have children, so you be good, because he's 70 already, and he probably ain't got 20 more years in him, and you still be 40. And you can have kids at 40. That's what I'm hearing. That's what's translating in my brain, right? So then I'm listening, and I'm like, then I'm thinking, Bree, you better get you a post-nup, a prenup, a companion nup, or something, because he ain't gonna marry you. So you need to get you a companion nup to make sure that you are in the will, because he got 2 ex-wives that he clearly loves. He got churn. His parents are still alive. You might need to make sure you in there somewhere, like at least so you get you a little settlement and you can move on, take your little bit of change, go buy you a nice little house, and find you a new little sugar daddy, because girl, like, you. And then this fool gonna say something about, well, I'm older than you. I'm 40 years older than you, and I'm probably ain't gonna, you probably, I won't be around when you get my age. And then he said, I mean, well, I don't even want her to get pregnant because I like her body the way it is. I don't want her to mess her body up. I said, that's it right there. Ding, ding, ding. We're done. Bree, you are nothing to him but a showpiece. Period. He don't have no problem with you spending his money. He don't have no problem with you, hanging out in his mansion. You are to look good, do what he tells you to do, and when he done with you, he gonna be done with you. And I just hope that you saving enough money on the side, got your little secret bank account, and you squirreling money away. If he give you a $5,000 allowance per month, baby, you better be putting 2,500 of that in the account, okay? You need to say, listen, I want to make sure that I have a contract that I'm in your will. I need a copy of that will. I need a notarized and sign, okay, and date it. Because what you gonna get from this man, Bree? Anyway. Child, Erica and Rick. Okay, so Erica and Rick is out hanging out with his friends, and he's letting his friends know that the wedding is going to be in Illinois because she really wants her family to be there. And his friends, they still trying to talk him out of getting married. And his friends even were like, well, that makes us feel a little bit better because we were convinced that she was a gold digger. But it seems like she's at least concerned about her family coming to the wedding. So that makes us feel a little bit better about her intentions. She can still be a gold digger. She just want her daddy at the wedding. I don't see what one has anything to do with the other. And so Rick is basically telling them, listen, I want y'all to come to the wedding. I understand, that y'all have some reservations about this whole situation, but please respect, that I love Erica. She loves me, and I really want y'all there. So they agreed to come to the wedding, Last but not least, child, Danny and Don. So Danny tells Don, listen, I went to see a lawyer to just find out what my options are, and basically a prenup is only there to protect you. A prenup isn't there to protect me at all, and I just can't believe you want me to sign one. I can't believe that you're trying to get me to sign a prenup. And he was like, listen, I was a multi-millionaire before I started dating her, and yes, my net worth has increased since I started dating her, but be clear, I was good. And so I'm just not understanding why she got a problem with it. Like, it makes me wonder now. The more and more she's pushing back on getting a prenup, the more and more it does make me sort of side eye her and question her intentions. So then she says something about, well, I do help. I mean, I have helped. I've poured into this company. And listen, that was the wrong thing to say, because then he was looking at her like, oh, she does think she got something to do with this. She does think that she's got, no. And she says, it makes me feel like, that I'm just a business transaction to you, that because I don't have any money, that I'm not valuable to you. No, it's just that because you don't have any money, he's protecting himself. Now, the one thing she said that I did agree with, she was like, if I was after your money, I wouldn't be settling for making $500 a week. Now, I'm going to disagree with that. I agree with that to a certain extent, but I'm going to disagree with that a little bit, because what you're getting is way more than $500 a week. It's just not in a monetary paycheck. I mean, you're getting watches that are $20,000. You're going on exotic vacations on private jets. You have a closet probably full of expensive purses. You drive a Benz. Like, it's not like he's not compensating you. He's just not giving you a paycheck. Basically, your little $500 a week is your allowance. It's basically you got a $2,000 a month allowance. It's pretty much what it is. But like he said, you don't pay any rent. You don't pay any bills. Okay, you help your mother out. You pay your cell phone bill, but you don't have a car note. You don't have a mortgage. Like, the major bills that most people pay, you don't have them, ma'am. Now, should he be paying her more than $500 a week if she is legit working in his office and contributing to his business? Absolutely, he should. Like, now, Donovan, I think you're wrong for not paying that girl more money. Now, that's my opinion on that. But I don't know what she does in that office. Now, she claims she does a lot. I ain't saying she don't, but I'm just... Anyway, that's pretty much this episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.